Okay, I've stained envelopes and we learned a couple things. If you water down the color too much, I don't know if that's going to be a good or a bad thing. We'll see. I know sometimes I want some white space for some of the designs I'm going to decoupage onto these envelopes, but I also feel like with the darker colors, I may be able to do other things. So I'm back very quickly because I changed my plan and I cleaned my mat and I moved all of the envelopes I just stained to another place to dry. So thank God all the counters are clean in my kitchen because they're completely covered with wet envelopes right now. But I picked this orange it is just called Pumpkin by Craft Smart. I picked Coral by Deco Art, and I picked this paint dauber called Classic Cherry. And hi, Lauren. And I decided because fall is coming and Halloween and stuff, and when they're dry, I have this particular envelope, which is black and white. And this has a lot of black and white. I can always cut that red postmark out and use it separately. So I kind of feel like the bolder ones are going to look really good with the black and white. I hope. We have yet to see this. But what I figured I would do is very quickly stain a few of these envelopes. This isn't mixed up very good. Stain it. I haven't used some of these paints in a while. Lauren, what are you up to? It is so hot here. I can't hardly stand to be outside. In fact, I'm thinking once I get these envelopes dry and get all my stuff laid out for work, I may have to just go for a little swim or something. It is miserable hot here. And it's not normally that hot here in September. I know a lot of people have closed their pool. We were just being lazy and did not really take care of business. So I'm kind of glad now. Laziness can be, look at me making a mess. I know this is not a painting mat, right? Everybody's always like, oh, you're getting paint on your cutting mat. I know this is kind of my everything mat. All right, I want that to be back. So I'm going to kind of dip that, dip that, dip that. I'm going to try to do 3 of each color. Ooh, I like that. Looky there. I just went live a while ago and did some blue, green, pink, and orange. Let's see, I want that. Yeah, that's going to be my inside. Look at my handprints on there now. That's going to be my outside. Yeah. Okay. That looks good. I like it. It's very orange. That is pumpkin orange, isn't it? Let's do one more because I have enough paint, I think. Here, let's see what side. This will be the outside. So I'm kind of doing the flap there because that part will show when the envelope's open. I know most people glue their envelopes closed before they start working on them. I prefer to leave mine open. If that's weird? Hey, I'm back. Change of plans, Denise. You know I'm flighty, but yeah. So I decided to change. I was going to do some different colors, and I decided to change because I got to thinking about fall coming, and I know I'm probably not going to have all of these envelopes done when I do decoupage. I'm going to put some of them aside. So some I could just add sentiments to or something. But I got this pumpkin orange and this coral and this red. So I probably should have done the coral first so that, well, Lauren, I hadn't either, so that might backfire. I'm one of those don't do as I say kind of people, but I thought for me, I just thought it would be easier to do this part. Plus, what am I doing? Plus, with the decoupage, I think I am going to, because I want to emboss them too. She did everything. I'm imitating an Artie Mays envelope not series, but an envelope. She did some envelopes, and I added it. If you look under my playlist, I added it into my I'm So Impressed bunch of videos because I really, really like what she did with these envelopes. She made like a shabby chic, and she did everything, girl. She tea and coffee stained her paper, and so I did a video coffee dyeing my paper, and then she turned around and added like ink and paint, and she really watered down the paint so it was very muted. This may backfire if it's too bright. I don't know. Oh, I like that coral. But then she decoupaged and inked, and she embossed, and man, I'm telling you, she went to town on them things. Then she made snippets and added snippets and more inking, and she did some gold gilded wax, and she really she did a little bit of everything to those envelopes, and they're a work of art in themselves, even if nothing is tucked inside. So if you go to my playlist, it is, I believe, around number 52. As I add stuff, I didn't realize this, they're numbered as you add stuff to playlists. And so I think she's like around 52 or 53. She's one of the last videos I added on because it's the most recent one. But I love Artie Mays. She has an Etsy shop. Okay, so I'm going to compare these two. Here's the pumpkin orange one, and here's the coral one. So you can see the difference. And I really like both, so we'll see what happens. I have a lot of paint here. I wonder if I should make one more. I'm going to make one more just because I really, really like this coral color. I think coral is a good color because you can use it in the fall or you can use it in summer. So I think it's really versatile. And I like it. I like it a lot. So let me just swoop the rest of this paint up. I hate to waste any of it. Yeah, I got most of it. Okay. All right. And I already chopped up a bunch of my coffee stain paper and did the whole envelope process very briefly on my last video. So, and this is called Classic Cherry. Let me see. I'm sorry, let me move that. I keep having these boxes pop up in my chat. What type of paper works best for this technique? Okay, well, I'm using, I had some old file cabinets that I went through to clean out, and that I have been really bad as far as organizing my paperwork since I moved in with Dad. He has an office, but I only had a couple drawers in there. So basically I used the Target bag filing method, and that was when things needed to be filed and got a little overwhelming. I put them in a little Target bag and wrapped it up and stuck it out in our garage in a file cabinet. So I finally said, I got to stop this, and I went through it. But I did find where at one time when my files were organized, I had some copy paper in a file folder and it got bent. So that I'm using this really, really cheap copy paper from, I don't know, maybe not Home Depot, Office Depot. And that's when you used to be able to buy the ream, like they'd have the one ream for $5. So it was like really not the thickest paper in the world. But I figured this, once I decoupage a layer of napkin on it, you know, decoupage really adds sturdiness to any paper. So even if you're using like a little rice paper type paper, once you decoupage it, it's down for whatever, because then you got some substance. It's got some bite after that. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. I barely reached my drawing area here. I have a very small little drawing area that I use. Oh, that's the wrong side, but okay. And that's the back. Yeah. So I guess I could leave some white space, but yeah, I'm not going to. I might be sorry for that later, or I might be glad. You know, sometimes you get done with a project and you're way past, you know, this a certain stage, and you go, gee, I wish I'd have added more paint. So I'm probably not going to say that on these particular envelopes. I may say, oh, I wish I'd have added less paint, but I'm probably not going to say, oh, I wish I'd have added more paint, because I'm really, yeah, we're getting all the paint we can get here. Yeah. Okay. Squeaky chair. Okay. So, and with the decoupage, it comes through, the background comes through so much, so strongly. It becomes so transparent that I don't know how that's going to translate. I might be sorry. And that may be why I think that she really watered down her paint where it was very, very pastel-y. And so I I did do some very, very watered down pinks, and I did a purple, and I even did, I think, did I do a light green or light blue? I don't know. I did a really bold teal and blue, and then those. But I think in the end, these will need bolder colors. These will look good on the bolder colors, and I think these will look good on the more pastel colors. I should have done a real pastel blue because of this blue, but then I don't want it to be too blue. And then this, I think this will be okay on a variety of areas. If I find some little white spaces to decoupage the actual flowers, and then maybe do the bird's nest or those in white spaces, I think that'll be okay. And then there's this big postage stamp. That's kind of cool. I could actually put this, I could probably decoupage this, what do you call it, postmark over this stamp, and it'll be see-through. Make it more transparent. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups terribly. I don't know why. So I imagine a better paper would work better, but I didn't want to use like a thick cardstock because I have a hard time scoring and making envelopes out of cardstock. I don't think they're as absorbent and I didn't want them super thick. I wanted them kind of thin. I will tell you, some of them tore up. Some of these, in my last video, which is only a couple minutes, when I started painting them where the score lines are, they're so thin. A couple of them got wet and stuck to the mat. And when I was moving them around and flipping them over, they tore along those score lines. But I think, again, that's okay, because once you decoupage them, you can kind of glue everything back together. And I think it's going to be okay. So, right, with crafting, isn't everything always okay? Like, any mistakes you make aren't really mistakes at all. They're just a little minor setback that you have to address later. So I wanted to get these painted so that maybe later on I can come on and do a little decoupage. I also need to go back and refer to the video to see what her next steps were. I don't know if she decoupaged and then embossed, or if she embossed and then decoupaged. I would like to do that, and I want to find some embossing folders that have some big patterns, not small, but maybe just some patterns around one corner or around the edges to kind of leave the middle flatter. So I do have to pick out some embossing folders that I want to use for this too. You can also use your dies if you turn them upside down. I have, I don't know how many times I've accidentally put my die the wrong way, and I put my paper through and it's embossed with that shape, but it's not cut. So I can use some dies to emboss, and I may do that. And they look okay too. They don't look bad. This one in particular, let me show you this one. When I was doing this Halloween stuff, I've been making this Halloween, let me get this basket. I was making these Halloween tags, and I used this die. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Let me find the die. Oh, I put it back. Well, Here, I bought this for someone, but I used a die just like this, but it was upside down and it made a real pretty embossed like doily on the paper. So, because it made that exact shape into the paper when I sent it through. And I'm a doofus sometimes, so that was completely by accident. Anyway, so that's it. I just wanted to share the rest of my envelope dyeing process so that when I go on to my next step, you guys can see the results when I do the, whether it be embossing or decoupage, I don't know. I did want to get a few done tonight before I leave for work so that tomorrow maybe I can do another process video and finish a few envelopes. I'd really like to have a few of them finished tomorrow because I'm off work. But you know, the decoupage itself takes about 24 hours to dry. So if I can get some done this evening before I leave for work, then tomorrow evening when I'm up and about and back on YouTube, I can show those how they turned out and go on with the inking process and the stamping. And she did stamping. Yeah, and I have some gilding wax that I have never used. So I'm kind of interested to use that. And instead of gilding wax on all of them, I'm going to use this. I'm going to try this. I love these. These have lasted me forever. They were only $4.99, but I bought this little Master's Touch acrylic paint tube set at Hobby Lobby, and it has the gold, the silver, the copper, and the bronze. And I love this, and I've used this a lot, and it lasted me a long time. And I'm going to try some of these, but I think the copper will look really pretty with some of the oranges and yeah, maybe the gold and the bronze and silver on blue, I think is really pretty. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I am going to go ahead and get my gilding paste out just because I've never used it. And she used it in her video, and I kind of want to try it and see how it acts. I always thought it might take too long to dry. I don't know how it behaves because I never played with it. Is that weird? I bought it forever ago and just never opened it. And now I'm kind of interested to play with it. So hopefully I'll be back later. The air conditioning's on in the house, so these little papers I think will dry real quick. So I think I'm going to come back later and do some decoupage once I get everything ready for work because it's only 6 o'clock and I already have dinner made. Yay! Actually, I'm having leftovers. It's dinner from yesterday, but that's fine. It's still a good thing. So I'm going to get one more cup of coffee. You can tell by how fast I'm talking. I've already slammed a couple cups, so I'm sure I need one more, right? But since is it ever too hot for coffee? It's never too hot for coffee. I'm telling you, never. So I'm going to go get some clean, dry rags to use out of the rag bag. These used to be my pajamas with cherries on, my flannel jammies, but they were old and torn up. So thanks for coming by, Lauren. Thanks for coming by, Denise. And I will see you all hopefully later this evening when my envelopes are dry. In a couple hours, I'm going to try to do some decoupage. So actually probably about an hour is all they need. So I'm going to shoot for 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So maybe I'll see you all then. All right. So thanks again. See you later, hopefully. Bye.